Welcome you back to Golf Central. In recent years, we've seen efforts to get more juniors involved in the game that are focused outside of the conventional 18-hole rounds. From putt-putt to par 3 courses and more recently to businesses like Topgolf, efforts to grow the game have been a major point of emphasis, which brings us to a new startup looking to do just that. Say hello to Park Golf, a new accessible, short-formatted, and free introduction to the game that hopes to bring a new, more diverse generation of golfers to the game. So you're asking, what exactly is Park Golf? Well, it's a three-hole mini course, I should say, in public parks or at existing golf courses, 30 to 40-yard holes, artificial turf, low-flight golf balls, golf clubs designed for beginners, mobile app for enhanced engagement, free for the public. The first site is planned for Jackson, Mississippi in 2023. And with that, we welcome in Nacho Giraldo, founder of Park Golf. Nacho, welcome. I guess, first of all, how'd you come up with the idea?
Yeah, well, look, I'll try to do the short version of a long story, but back in 2016, I was actually running the golf business for Nike up in Oregon. You know, after I left Nike, I mean, golf's always been an incredible passion of mine. It's a game that's given me a lot in my life, and I was worried about the dynamics of golf participation in the U.S., and so I engaged as an advisor to the World Golf Foundation. And one of the areas we were working on is participation. We wanted to think about how to bring new generations of diverse golfers to the game. In doing that, I actually managed to excite a number of other passionate golfers in the consulting world and analytics world, and we did a strategic planning effort with the World Golf Foundation, and basically identified as a business what the challenges, structural challenges were to the growth of golf. And from that work, I decided that we needed to do something about it. If I'm honest, I've always been a little critical of how the golf industry has tried to bring in new generations. And I thought, I love what you just said, about breaking rules. I'm a rules breaker. I love thinking that things can be done differently. And that's exactly what we undertook, to do something that nobody's ever done.
And maybe we should ask him for his favorite team in the game. You know, there have been lots of attempts to do exactly what you're doing. What do you think it is about Park Golf that makes it unique from these other businesses and innovations that have tried to do the same thing?
Yes, so let me start with one thing. Park Golf is a non-for-profit, right? We're not trying to make any money. We're really trying to just bring golf to the people. For a long time, golf has tried to bring people to golf. We're actually trying to bring golf to the people. So what is different, I think, is this format really breaks down all the barriers that exist to participation. And one is, it's really hard to access golf. If you think about it, you got to get to a golf course or a range or a Top Golf. You know, that is hard. It's an intimidating sport. I mean, that's it. The rules and the etiquette, and there's a lot of things that people fear. You know, there's just not a lot of diversity. So if you look at the statistics, if a kid is in a family where both parents do not play golf, the probability they'll ever engage in golf is 1 in 250. That's nothing. So you need a starting point where you bring in more diversity. It's also in the old school format of golf of 18 holes. It's a very time consuming sport, and people don't want to spend their lives doing stuff like that anymore. You got to get them started in something that's faster. And finally, I mean, golf can be expensive. Got to buy equipment and clothes and rules. And so we're trying to do something that's free, and it's right there in your public park, just like your soccer pitch or your basketball court or anything else like that.
Nacho, you're going to need cooperation from communities. How would you sell this, so to speak, to cities and municipalities and communities in order to convince them this is a really good thing for their kids and just basically for the quality of life?
You know, it's funny because we've gone out to talk to communities around the country, and I can tell you at this point, there's nothing other than excitement. I think people really grasp onto the concept right away. That said, I must say, I think part of it is the great partnerships that we have. We are working with the World Golf Foundation. We are working with the First Tee. I'm actually, this first course you saw in Jackson is designed like the concept by Robert Trans Jones Jr. And his team. I mean, there is plenty of excitement. Granted, look, we're a non-for-profit. We're in the process of raising the funds to do this, but I think communities have really grasped the great potential of this to add value to the community, especially because there's a symbiotic relationship between us and the First Tee. The First Tee teams are starving for facilities where they can bring the kids, and that's the idea. This project is in conjunction with the First Tee in Jackson, Mississippi. Margot Coleman has been incredible in terms of helping us go to the councils and to get the approval for use of the parks for these facilities.
All right, so the value is understandable, but I'm wondering, what does it cost typically to develop one of these facilities?
You know, we've been tweaking the designs precisely because as a non-for-profit, we don't want to break the bank, but it's probably $300,000 to $500,000 to build one of these things. The idea, though, is to build it in a way that the maintenance cost going forward is very low because of the nature of the turf that we're going to be using, and and again, this is all based on, you know, it's on a non-for-profit basis. So we're raising the funds. We feel like the big part of it is to raise the initial capital, but then following that, we're working on, you know, things that I'm bringing from my business life, as this is not my full-time job, you know, to think about how you market it, how do you do microfinancing and micro donations, and give it sustainability across time.
Nacho, this is golf in its simplest form, stripped of all the obstacles. Why do you think that will be infectious for kids if they get exposed to it?
You know, there's a chart we have in our presentation which probably says it all. If you survey kids about golf, it is incredible how they think it's not fun, it's not popular, it's not cool. They don't like to watch it. They don't want to participate. Once you give a kid exposure to golf on a course and you survey them again, golf actually rates above all other sports in this country. It's pretty amazing. I mean, that is the core belief here. It's that exposure. I mean, I don't know, you guys, I love golf. I know how it feels. Once you hit that shot, and there's this term like golf shot euphoria, whatever, it is real. When people experience golf and understand the beauty of the game, the engagement levels go through the roof. The problem of golf is the structural barriers to having that experience. And that's what we're trying to change.
I think you've got to go back to your research, people. I think Tiger Woods fixed that problem of golf not being cool. But what's the response been that you've been getting from the communities that you have been approaching?
Well, you know, I think, again, that the excitement around how much value they think this can bring to their public parks is very high. I would also tell you that it's not easy to work with Parks and Recreation. And so we've been engaging in lots of conversations and questions about how we're going to get it done. But, you know, thanks to the support of these different groups that we're working with, I think we've started to gain the credibility. And in the end, you know, innovating requires perseverance. And we are a group of innovators. We're trying to do something different. And we know that, you know, it's never, you know, there's never an easy path to the top of the mountain. So plenty of work to be done. But I think we're on a good track given the reception we've had from these municipalities.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea to us. Nacho Giraldo, thanks so much for being with us. Happy holiday. Park Golf. All the best to you. Well,
happy holiday.
Thank you. We've gotten